Good evening to all of you. Whenever there is a spill, if I may say, the Indian Coast Guard is the chief host, within inverted commas. And when I landed up here, I think it was Tim who told me that he has seen my name on the dais. So that was the first surprise. And I've landed up here as the chief guest. And these roles are always reversible. Chief guest can soon become the chief host. And the common theme between these two things is we had the chief host here, Hazarika Saab, who has got all of you together for this a very important theme for practice to perfection. And the Indian Coast Guard has a similar role. When we look at oil spill coordination in this country, it's a very important role, practice to perfection. And one way to do it is to have it in the contingency plan. And while I stand here, I think it's a good opportunity to brief you on the important activities that we have undertaken over the recent months to strengthen ourselves to tackle oil spills. As Mehra Saab has rightly brought out, we are still in the infant stage. And I think as a member of the Indian Coast Guard and as a person responsible for environmental protection, yes, we are still in the infant stage. And I think it is important for every person who is responsible for planning for disasters and responding to feel that is in the infant stage. If you feel that, okay, if you have achieved everything, then that's the point, the time you're not ready to respond. The readiness comes from always feeling that, yes, maybe something is lacking. So you look at your preparedness all the time and say, let me see, where am I lacking? So, that is an important starting point. And if the HSC, the chief HSC of ONGC feels that, yes, we need to do more, well, I think it's a very good thing. And I thank you for making that important statement. And I, in the Indian Coast Guard, always feel the same. Every day I try and look at my contingency plan. Is there anything we can do, we can improve? And let me tell you, for example, only yesterday, we got an important approval from the Government of India. In the last meeting, we have a national meeting once in a year, we call it the NOSDSP meeting. In the last meeting in May, because of one of the exercises in which we practice in the northwest region, that is in Gujarat, we realized that the vessels which are authorized for use in the special economic zone, they are not allowed to leave the SEZ. So that was an important restriction. If there's a spill, we would require the vessel, perhaps if required, to respond to the spill, to leave the SEZ. So immediately when I came back from the meeting, I took it up with the Government of India. The Ministry of Commerce, precisely, the SEZ rules are governed by the Ministry of Commerce. They are the administrative ministry. And only yesterday, we got the approval from them for the vessels to leave the SEZ as required by the Coast Guard. So under the direction of the Coast Guard, they can leave. This is just one small example. When we get together, when we discuss, which is what is exactly going to happen in this conference, you'll be sharing your experiences, you'll be sharing your knowledge and expertise, and you'll maybe also sharing your problems. And sharing is an important aspect. So once you share your problems, people start putting their heads together and come out with solutions. The other important things which we have taken up in the Coast Guard is, for example, we will be looking at large-scale application of dispersants. In the last National Pollution Response Exercise last year, we had gotten the Indian Air Force C-130J aircraft. It is a very huge transport aircraft, and world over they are used for application of dispersants. And we have already initiated, the Indian Coast Guard has initiated a process for acquiring the applicators, aerial dispersant delivery systems. And so we are working forward, and in the near future, India will be equipped to deploy aerial dispersant systems on board the Air Force aircrafts. So this is a major initiative. I'm just giving an example. And the other important thing which we have done is we have completely revamped the national plan. In the last meeting in May last year, in May this year, we had launched the draft national plan, and it was up on the internet. It is still there on the internet for stakeholder consultation. We have received more than hundreds of comments, and it has been completely revised. And very soon, we will be launching an updated national plan. And it really strengthens the system in this country. We have taken into account our collective experience over the last 20 years, all the points which we have learned, and we had wonderful inputs from all the stakeholders. And very soon, you will find the National Disaster Contingency Plan. The important thing is, for example, in the older plan, if you had seen those of you who are familiar with the existing plan, the coordination element was lacking. there was no devolved responsibility at the, whether at the industry level or at the state government level. Now, all that is being integrated. So we have specified what will be the responsibilities of the, let's say, the chief incident controller, what is responsible for, who will he report next. So all that is clearly laid down. How will the state government mesh? What will be the teams over there? What will be the committees at the state government level, at the district level, and at the national level? So all that has been streamlined, and we have had lots of consultations with all the concerned ministries of the Government of India. So that is one important aspect. As far as training is concerned, you are all aware, the Indian Coast Guard conducts level 1 training at various places. We have it at Mumbai, we have it at Chennai, we have it at Vadinar, etc. We also do the level 2 training with support of the AMET University in Chennai. But we have taken an important step forward. Not only have we been training national stakeholders, in this May, we trained groups of officers from Sri Lanka and Maldives also in both level 1 and level 2. So we have now developed the capacity to train the regional players as well. Not only training, level 1 and level 2 training, we have also been helping Sri Lanka and Maldives for developing their contingency plans. So that is what I would like to tell you. We are going to the next level. Not only are we strengthening ourselves, and we are helping our neighboring countries to strengthen themselves, and in the process, gaining knowledge for ourselves. Another important aspect, if I have to mention, is, for example, ESI mapping. I have been looking at all the contingency plans which have been made by the port facilities or the oil installations. And the ESI mapping perhaps needed strengthening. So in the new contingency plan, we have developed extensive guidelines. We have been working closely with the National Institute of Oceanography, which is based over here, and the INCOIS to ensure that these elements are properly reflected in the contingency plans of the stakeholders. We have INCOIS over here. I think they'll be making a presentation, and we have worked closely with them, and they have developed the online oil spill advisory. So many companies, they have their own softwares for prediction of oil spills. So India now has, it's a beta version, and I guess very soon INCOIS will be launching the actual version, the final version. So India has developed its capability for online oil spill advisory of the system. So these are just a few examples of the way we have been strengthening ourselves. And I think Oil Spill Association of India, I had the good fortune of being here for the first edition as well. And I think they are doing a good job of getting all these stakeholders together. And I think these are the very same stakeholders which we frequently see at all the various forums. In my National Oil Spill Disaster Contingency Plan, we have, I think, 120 stakeholders, all government, private, public, everybody put together, public sector units. So with these words, I think I wish Oil Spill India and the organizers all the very best. And we look forward to hearing on the outcomes of this conference and taking it forward. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity and inviting me here. Thank you.